Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Alpha Access. In today's episode we'll be taking a look at the graphical and UI changes SOE has made to the map and the claiming interface. We'll also check out the beginner and intermediate tools such as the heal, delete, add, selection, and smooth tools. On top of that, I'll also go over how to make your own templates, as well as how to use those templates to construct more complex designs. So sit back, pour yourself a pint, and let's jump right in. Alright folks, we're jumping right in. We're going to take a look at the map real quick and check out the changes to claims. As you may have seen in the previous episode, this was definitely not intuitive. We had a lot of these small gray boxes with the larger ones surrounding it. Graphically it wasn't very appealing and it was a little bit difficult to read, so it was really tough to try to find an open spot. So what they've done is they've gone in, added this show claimable land button here, and if we show that, all the areas in red are now not claimable. So the spots that are claimable will show up as a regular texture on the map. So if we zoom out, we can see everyone else's claims by these flags here. And we can also see the claimable area, which is all this red stuff. And the clear spots look like just a regular normal map texture. So I've gone ahead and run out to an area where I can actually place my claim so I can show you guys that interface real quick. Let's go in here. You're going to go into your inventory. You should have a claim flag. Should look like this. Drag it on down your hotbar. And if we hit number 4, we'll get this new interface. As you can see, our box here has some pretty graphics on it. Not only that, we can also tumble around here. And if you middle mouse drag, your claim will go up and down in Y. So you can go for a lower depth or a higher height. Once you're happy with the selection and the height and the depth, just go ahead and click it. Interface pops up. Do you want to go with this land for your claim? Of course I do. And it looks like they might have some sort of current upkeep system that they're going to implement at some point. Actually, I hope they kind of don't. It's kind of nice not having to worry about something you've built, but we'll see. This is alpha. Lots of feedback will be coming through about this. And we'll see how they change it in the future. But for now, we just hit confirm. Get the old sound effect. I don't have... Oops, wrong button here. Game settings. If I show my claims, we can now see the borders of my claim. And the graphics are slightly updated to make it look a little bit more pretty with the little border edges here instead of just being a clear box with some gray lines. And that is basically it to claiming. It's pretty much that easy. And like I said, this graphical update has been a godsend in trying to find new spots, because before, in the previous episode, it was very difficult to find something. All these boxes are overlaid on top of each other, overlapped, and it was just a bit of an eyesore and a little bit more difficult than it needed to be. And also, if you shouldn't be afraid to pick up your claim and move elsewhere if you find an ideal spot that you'd like to try out. If we go over here, see if that, no, the hotkey's not working, but we can come over here to claim management. Usually the hotkey is U. It doesn't seem to be working at the moment. As you can see, I've already got one claim. Strahz's claim number 1. And all we have to do is hit delete. It says your claim on this land will be lost. Claim flag will be returned to your inventory. And a template will be created of the current contents of your claim. So if you've been building stuff and you just want to delete the whole thing in one fell swoop, it will save out a template, and we'll cover that here in a few minutes, of everything you've built. So you can throw down another claim, then come up to your template window, and everything you did here should be listed that you had on that claim. It should probably be, you should probably call it something. I'm not sure what name it'll give it. Probably some sort of default name. But you'll have everything you built, so nothing gets lost. So really quick, I actually had a second flag. So this is the second flag I'm using. Sony really wants us to stick to one claim for now. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy. Claim management, Strahz's claim number 1. Hit delete. Yep, fine with that. Okay. Check out the map. And this area is now open to be claimed. And there you go. So those are the changes they've made. There might be more changes in the future. They might make this a little bit more streamlined, but for now this is way easier to read, so I don't really see them doing too many changes to that. So yeah, that's basically covering claims in a nutshell. I'm going to run on back over to my other claim, and then we're going to jump right into the tools, the add, heal, delete, and the selection and smooth tool. So we've made it back to my claim. I'm going to quickly show you here in a couple minutes how you can make complex structures like this archway using templates. But for right now, we're going to quickly go over the add and delete tool. We touched on it briefly in my first look video, but I'll quickly go over it again. Just going to run over here. Clicking on number 1 brings up my add tool, this yellow box you can see. This is the smallest size. If we middle mouse wheel up, we get the next largest size. Going up one more time, and we can go up even higher than that. So those are currently the 4 sizes we can go with the add tool. Also, if we hit the C key, we can change the square into a sphere. And then we've got the different sizes using the same technique of the middle mouse wheel. I'll just throw those down real quick so you guys can see the scaling difference. And then one more big one. Oh boy, we got room for this? There we go. Yeah. So there you go. Those are the 4 sizes you can also use for spheres. Also, as a hotkey command, you can Control Z to undo your last 10 steps. So we're going to undo those. Alright, there we go. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to delete that platform I just made. So if I hit Control Y, that will redo my last command. There it is. Pops right back. And if we go to the delete tool, it's pretty much the same. We have the same shapes we can choose from. We can scale up and down with the middle mouse wheel. Hitting C will make it a sphere. And then we can change the scale. Let's come over here and delete a big old corner right here. There we go. Just took out a huge chunk. Scale that down. There we go. Also, as a quick note, it's not popping up right now. But what I'm doing is I'm hitting Shift Tab while I'm in this tool, any tool actually. So holding down, what the hell does Shift Tab do? Well, right now, if I middle mouse wheel, the sphere is moving up and down in height. So I go here, I can move this up again. I'm going to start deleting that way. I can go even lower. It's basically just moving up and down the map here in Y. Excuse me, in the Y axis. If we hit Shift Tab, that's going to go back to the scale tool. Basically, I should say scale tool, the scale manipulator. So now I can scale my sphere back up and down as before. And I don't want to delete that stuff, so I'm going to do Control Z to undo it. And there's that. So that basically covers your add and delete tool. Nothing fancy. Just hitting C to go back from cube to sphere. Middle mouse drag to go to your different sizes. And then Shift Tab to change whether or not the sphere moves up and down in the Y axis. And the same can be done with the add tool. There it is. Shift Tab to change modes. Scale. And terrain offset is what they call it. Alright, so let's check out the heal tool. Again, pretty self-explanatory. You've come over here and done a ton of stuff. Blown away some of your claim. Alright, then we hit 3. Holding down your mouse button. And just dragging along will heal the terrain back to how it was before you started messing with it. And again, we can undo just like everything else. Up to about, I believe it has enough memory for 10 recent commands. And we can scale just like the other add and delete tool. We hit Shift Tab, terrain offset, just like the other ones. We can come in here and heal this little section. And then that's all healed up. So quickly, let's go over the selection tool. This is definitely one of the most powerful tools in the game. As you can see, I've got a little square box here that's got the dotted lines around it. We can do the same thing with the other tools, scaling it up and down. We, however, cannot change to a sphere. This guy stays as a cube. But it's powerful in the fact that you can click, hold your mouse button down, and drag along to select an area. And then once you've done that, you've got these transform tools. You can move it up and down. You can hold left or right. And backwards and forwards. What we can also do is customize the size of the selection. So if we select a side here, you see it highlights just slightly blue. You can click, hold down your mouse button, and drag that along to make the cube longer or shorter. And you can do that in all corners, all sides. Top, bottom, left, right, all that good stuff. There's also shortcut selections you can do, which will do 2 axes at once. Selecting this guy, I can drag down and back. So instead of trying to select one side at a time, you can also do this. So you can do at least 2 axes. So what we can do here is come in with our selection tool, highlight an area, switch to our delete tool, and you'll see once you bring your mouse over that selection tool, it changes blue. Click on that, and then we just deleted a nice little hole in the ground here. I'm going to quickly undo that, bring back our selection tool, and we can do the same thing with the add tool. As you can see, it changes to a yellow border color. There we go. Now we just made ourselves a pretty fugly looking dirt cube sticking out of the ground. I'm going to undo that. Now how this works is you're going to need to select your material first. So if you want a big chunk of marble or stone or whatever it is that you'd like, let's go with intricate work stone here. Make sure you select that material first, then do your selection tool, drag it out to the size you'd like, hit the add tool, make sure you've highlighted the box, and then just click. There you go. And now we've got the work stone ugly cube there now. Gonna undo that. Well, what else can you do with this? It's actually pretty advanced. Well, I should say it's pretty amazing what you can do with it. So if we make something here, let's gonna quickly make a fugly looking structure here. I'm gonna move this up. I'm gonna make some sort of structure that I want to be able to copy and paste and mirror. Alright, we'll do something like this. Hit our forward key, go back to our selection tool. And then we'll take away a little bit of this. We'll go back to our delete tool. Okay. So now I've got something that I've crafted, that I've made, that I want to like repeat, mirror it, or just copy it around my claim. So we come back to our selection tool. Let's say I just want, not the entire thing, but most of it. Drag this out. Oop. There we go. Drag this out. Select this. So basically everything within this selection box, I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste. So hit Control C and then Control V. You'll now see that we've got the yellow shaped. Whoop. Use my grappling hook, get back up here. I've got a yellow shape here that's an exact copy of what I just selected. And if we place this down, it places it the exact same look and feel that we have in the selection tool that we wanted. I'm going to undo that. What you'll also notice is that you also have the Shift Tab modes you can do. So I can move this up and down. Keep going higher and lower. If I hit Shift Tab, I can start rotating it. And it looks like it's in 90-degree increments. But what's also cool is that you want to be able to mirror it. You just hit V. You see how it flops it on top of its head pretty much. So I can place this down. I'm going to go, let's see, something like this. And then I'm going to hit V for mirror. I'm going to put it right on top of it. Why not? If it will obey my commands. Close enough. So you can see we started making something a little bit more complex than just starting from this one little template that we made. So that's a quick way you can mirror things and start to begin making some more complex structures. And while we're at it, while we've built this, now's a good time to check out the Smooth tool. And Smooth tool does pretty much what it says it does. It smooths the edges and borders of just about everything. Some people call it the mush tool because it doesn't quite make a seamless smoothing. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Alright, Mr. Smooth tool, we can do the exact same thing where we can scale up. We've got the different sizes, and if we hit C, we can change it to a sphere. I personally like using the sphere on local areas. So if I come in here and just start holding down my mouse and painting over, you can see these corners start to become nice and rounded. Actually does a pretty good job. And it also does it in between two corners, so it starts smoothing out those edges so they're not so perfectly square. It's a nice quick way to get something that looks imperfect and something that's slightly weathered. I'm going to show you guys another little trick I found out with the selection tool and smoothing. So if I select an area around here, let's say I've got this, I want all four corners here to be nice and smoothed out. Drag this out. Select a side here, make it just about as wide as this. And then I'm going to raise it up, pull down the bottom, and then we'll just smooth the top for now. So same idea as the add and delete tool. If I select my smooth tool and then move my mouse over the box so it becomes highlighted, this time it's highlighted purple. I forgot one important step, folks. Highly recommend, once you've made your selection, drag out at least one voxel away. Move this over. And move that, and we'll go one more up. That should be good enough. Now we'll come back. There we go. And every time I click, it globally applies that smooth tool to the entire selection. And click a few more times. Hit escape. And now we've got a nice smooth top to this altar, whatever else you want to call it. Could be a tomb, whatever. Now we can come in here, go with the delete tool. Let's go to this cube. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do a selection tool. Pull this out a little bit. Activate the delete tool. There we go. Makings of what it is, I have no idea. But you can see how you can start to smooth things out. Get things to not look so perfectly square and perfect computer looking squares and voxels and circles. And that's what I've done up here. Everything I've made up here has been a combination of using all 5 of these tools as well as templates. So with that being said, in a minute here we'll check out templates. Alright folks, let's check out the templates real quick. If we go over here to screen left and scroll down to what looks like the house icon, we'll bring up the templates UI. And we'll show this here, the plus unknown, that should hopefully be changed at some point. But if you click on that, it should show you a list of everything you've ever put into your template, everything that you've ever saved out. When you first start doing templates, of course, it'll be empty. As you can see, I've already got some stuff I already made. Granite sphere, circle, circular base, a hard-edged tower, the archway, which you saw at the top of the hill here. And it's pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward. I'll quickly show you guys how to do that. So what you want to do is come over here with your selection tool. Select the entire piece, the entire object. And it looks good. And what we're going to do is come over here, hit create new, and call this blocky pillar. Hit OK. And I'm going to delete this guy. And come back to our templates. It should be a blocky pillar now is available to be selected. And we can now place it. We hit place, the yellow icon shows up. We can move it up and down. If we hit tab, we can change the axis to move it back and forth. And we hit tab again, we can go in the other direction. And if we hit shift tab, we can change from translation to rotation. And then hitting tab, we can change the axis once again. For right now, we're just going to go back to translate. I'm going to move this up a little bit. And then once we click, left click, it places the item into the world. And you can do this multiple times. You start stacking things. So I want to get this guy pretty lined up to where it was. And I'll middle mouse wheel drag up to make it a little bit taller. Left click. So how I made these marble columns, I started with something like this. Then I went ahead with my selection tool. Selected most of the pillar, as much as I could. And I also went one voxel out, because we don't want any hard edges on these pillars. And there we go. I'm just going to make sure we go all the way up to the top, and then one voxel out, as well as one voxel down. And it looks like we're 2 on this side. We'll go over 1 less. That looks pretty good. Looks good. We'll jump to the top real quick, take a look. And we just need to go up one more. There we go. I'll come back to my smooth tool, hit smooth a bunch of times. You really want to make that nice and round. That looks pretty good. So as you can see, towards the top of this pillar, it begins to taper and starts to square off, and we definitely don't want that for a nice round pillar. So what you're going to do is come back with your selection tool and just select the areas where you feel are the smoothest. I'll drag this out. This looks like the smoothest part of this pillar. I'll come over here to my template tool, create new, and call this small smooth pillar. Okay. I'll come back to our template, select our small smooth pillar, hit place. I'll move it up a little bit, make it flush with the ground. And there we go. And if we want to make it a little bit taller, match it up to its original position. And this is the part that can be a little tricky when it tries to snap to objects in the world. There we go. And I'll middle mouse wheel drag up. And there we go. Just double the size of our pillar. And that's how I made those stone pillars here on the top of the hill. Pretty easy. Alright, what else can we do with the templates? Well, that archway I can show you how to do pretty quick here. So what you want to do is go to your delete tool. If you're in the cube mode, hit C, go back to the circle. I'm going to go up to about the medium-sized circle here. Now I'm going to hit Shift Tab because I want the depth of this circle to be right about in the middle of this wall here. And that's a little bit further out. Yeah, that looks about good. Okay. And then we just left click. Now we've got a nice circle in the middle of this wall. I'm going to come down to my selection tool. Select the cross. Select down. And then we're just going to try to get this square to be as flush as we can with that arch. It's actually looking up. We want to go up just a little bit more. I think one more voxel. I think that'll do us good. Okay. Come back to our delete tool. Make sure it's highlighted. And delete it. Now we've got this nice smooth arch. So we're going to want to template that, just like we did with the pillar. So we're going to select the entire thing here. And make sure we got the top. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. We'll come on back here, create new. And call this arch small. Hit OK. And what I'm going to do is come back into my template. Select arch small, hit place, and as you can see we've got the yellow icon again. I'm going to match this up with my selection. I'm going to hit tab. Tab one more time. There we go. Add a little bit of depth here. And then we're going to just place another one. Yeah, it's not perfectly flush. We can get that flush. I just hit Control Z to undo that. This is the part that can be a little tricky, as I mentioned. Come on, there we go. Nope, almost. That flush, there we go. So what we took is the original archway, extruded out by copying and pasting, and just placing our template around. We also get a little bit more fancy if we really wanted to. So we delete this here. I need to get my stone back. I don't have a lot of stone, so I'm going to save it for this video. And we're going to delete this. Oop. There we go. And come back to my template. Come back to arch small, hit place. And let's see here. I'm going to shift tab because I want to rotate it. I'm going to hit tab because I want to rotate it along the x-axis. I'm going to place it down here on the ground. And then I'm going to rotate it again. I'm going to hit shift tab to go back to translate. Hit tab till I'm going up and down. And then we're going to try to get this right back to where I want it. There we go. Then I'm going to scroll up. And we'll place that right there. It's not perfectly symmetrical, but you get the idea. Just having a template here of a couple simple items built from simple objects, and really start you can really start getting creative and adding some pretty complex shapes. And what we can also do is come back in here and smooth all this out if I really wanted to. And why not? I'll just make sure we're one voxel out. That looks good enough. And we'll just smooth it a few times. And there we go. Not the most perfect archway shape, but you get the idea. See if we can get a better angle on that. So you can now take this with your selection tool. Now it's all smoothed out. If you finally have a shape you're truly happy with, you can select all this, come back in here, go to your template, create new, name it, and then you can start copy and pasting this shape around. I think that'll do it for this episode, folks. Once again, if you enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe. If you've got any questions about Landmark, if you finally got into the game, feel free to give me a shout. I am the same name here on my channel as I am in-game, Strahz. And you can also leave me a comment on the video remarks below. And until next time, folks, take it easy.